Okay. I forgot to press the button. I didn't, that wasn't the thing yesterday with that video there was no sound. I pressed the button. What happened with the recording software? I have no idea. But anyway, what I was saying is like, could this be the day that maybe things get going? I don't know. Um, I think the market has been, traders, institutions have been relentless at buying the dip, even the ugly ones, as you can see on this particular chart, and many of them look the same way. Let me tell them here, yes. Okay, so they can hear me or know that I'm speaking. So what I'm saying, usually what happens with typical patterns, and the market to a certain extent hasn't um, followed the typical patterns, meaning um, rounding top, pivot lows, breakdown. And what I was saying before I clicked the sound button was it stopped at a relatively insignificant place, meaning, yes, that is support looking to the left, but most times with a rounding top like this and then a violation of the support, what would happen, remember, what we do is pattern recognition based on what happened in the past. What would typically happen would be, this would stay down here, make a lower high, retest this, and probably do something like that. That's not happening. It is now retraced back up to the top of the pivot. It's pre-market. And it's not even like the end of the day where we could say, okay, based on this information, what should it do next? And so when we recognize patterns over time, we see what is, we know the historical reactions to them, and we say, okay, this is what should happen next based on historical patterns. This is not what should happen next based on what I just explained. So, but it does happen. So what do? We update the information, and it's like, okay, now we've had 100% retracement of a wide range bar into a pivot. What does it do there? Since we've now got this congestion to deal with, we're going to see in the next half hour, an hour, and so. And, yeah. But if it was to close like this, you've got a break through these pivot highs. This has just been consolidating the gain, a bottoming tail bar. They bought the dip again, and then a strong close. And if we saw this at the end of the day today, it would lead us to believe that Monday is going to move up above the highs. So, one of the many things that we've been talking about during this week, I've mentioned, is that the futures haven't broken out to new all-time highs, while the ETFs have done that. All right. So futures traders are not so enthusiastic. Um, After going through a period like this one, do you think that everyone is a little apprehensive about getting aggressive? I think yes. How many times can you get whipsawed? Meaning it looks, good, looks bad, looks good, looks bad, looks good, looks bad, so on and so forth. So this pattern is developing to looking pretty good as to its ability to, assuming it holds its gain, to move up. So we'll see. As this comes up to this pivot, you can see right now you're getting a little breakout failure there on the 5-minute chart. And we'll see if it holds this, or this could turn into another red bar today. None of us know. You all know that. All right. S&P's similar situation, hasn't broken out to a new all-time high. With the price action yesterday, SPX gap down. It was a little bit of a shock after the strong close. Things went down, came down to a similar area. It's retraced, not as far as the Qs have. Weekly chart has just been running in place for quite a while. And so we'll see what it does today. Um, The Russell just been running in place for a while. Um, it's tightening up. See how the 20 is curled over the top and the steepness or angle it's coming down at, the 20 is laying right on top of it, and the 200 is coming up under the bottom. And so the weekly, that's the 20, which is equal to the 100. And you can see that's up above the top. That arrangement of moving average in of itself, if you had no prices on here, would tell you that there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty going on. For a 100 to be above these, and that would tell you the shorter ones have been going down. Something's been correcting the 200s here, and the proximity that they are to each other would tell you that things are tightening up. So we always call moving averages visual aids, and things are tightening up here. Some would draw diagonal lines, which would show a triangle and prices coming into the apex. The prices are getting, or the supply and demand forces are reaching an inflection point, and they're going to break one way or another. Will it be today? I don't know. I don't think there's any significant news coming, so I don't know what's going to drive it other than, something new coming out that was unexpected. The Dow is cracking here. UNH is getting taken out to the woodshed, as someone I know used to say, for things that were getting pounded. And if you look at UNH, this is, it's always interesting to see these things. And you can tell me that uh, people that are working on fundamentals and managing money, that they don't have someone telling them where support and resistance is. This is gapping down here to around 440. And where's 440? Look where it is, right down here on the weekly chart. April of last year, that swing low, and all of a sudden it starts. I think there are an army of people out there drawing trend lines, fib tools, VWAPs, GAN lines, Elliott waves, and marketing all that BS. And while the lights are dim, they're looking to the left. And they're saying, this is where it's going to start. And they'll show some Elliott wave count. Look how it lined up right there. Folks, you don't need any of that hocus pocus stuff. If you just look to the left, you're going to see where buyers and sellers have been. And these gap downs like this, I didn't see what the news was. Um, it's not, I don't think maybe it reported earnings. I don't know. Anyway, you can see it's getting killed. And it's on support here. All right, looking around, gold is down a little bit, just wiggling around, consolidating its gains. See, oil is down a little bit, just wiggling around here at support. Silver, it's grinding. Now, things that are moving up, I mentioned the other day, I think it was pre-market, all the bottoming patterns, a lot of bottoming patterns have been prevalent out there. So the equally weighted S&P 500. So this is up a little bit. So underperformers have been where the money's been going into. Now, rather than if things are holding up here and think, the future's going to break out to new highs or whatever, consider this. Got room to go up. It's bottoming. This is something to consider if the market can get out of its own way and this breaks out, it's got room to move up. Maybe it makes new all-time highs, but we'll have to see. Can it actually move up? Yes, Steve. That's good. You know what? The more people I say it to, I think hopefully it's catching on a little bit, but it's very difficult to avoid all of the hocus pocus stuff that's going on out there when you see the majority are utilizing those things. And I know I did, back when I started out. I mean, there wasn't all these things out there, Ichikumi clouds. I think there was Elliott wave kind of stuff out there, but I never got into it deeply. I studied it a little bit to see, what it was about. I was into time cycles and some crazy stuff, and then the light bulb went on. I was like, man, this stuff is crazy. It's like just just a melting pot of uncertainty as to why it works and not, and when it will and will it won't. So, foundational stuff works. All right. So as far as things actually moving, so here's another example of money rotating into beaten down things. Semiconductors, within this messy chart, were able to grind their way higher. And some of them did so like lighting on fire, where the money was just like, okay, these things are beaten down, however they deem value to be there. Um, and, like Texas Instruments, which has been a dog for quite a while. You know, things just fly up while, Nvidia, that climb up looks like the chart, but it spent an awful lot of time doing nothing. So there's a lot of, uncertainty related to the things that we know, tariffs and the president and wars, and looks like they're gonna, if you're reading things, what's going on, looks like they're gonna take Zelensky out to the woodshed pretty soon. Who knows? Maybe he'll disappear. I don't know. Things are happening there. All right. So, OIWM breakout, just things are just a lot of mess here. So be careful out there. Um, Interest rates, down a little bit. It's a little bit of a help for the market, but just a lot of indecision there. Transports have, reached their destination. Things, support, resistance, trading range, back and forth, back and forth. So, a lot of that's going on here. So keep the expectations, in alignment with what is. Let's look at SPX, and prices are gapping up a little bit. And look at where they are. And I move this up there. Does it line up here? Yeah. Look, right here near the close, inside that bar, basically doing zero, nothing. Just whipping around. And okay, so we know where the market is, right about there, 61, 29, 30-ish, whatever. We don't care about exactness. Nothing touched yesterday. Usually what happens. And where it's at. Today is the end of the week. I'm kind of looking to see if there was anything like closer to 10,000. No, no, no. Okay. No, 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 no. 6150. Okay. 60 down a little. Remember yesterday was like, I think markets were down, and the strikes, what we looked at, were coming up, and I said, this is not normal. They're over enthusiastic, and look at what happened yesterday. So that was irrelevant of what was on the chart. It was a way of recognizing the complacency. All right, the same number. Okay, so it's here. It's here. Markets have recovered from yesterday. Um, I don't know, maybe up. I don't know if today's the day, but based on that bottoming tail bar, I would say the downside is the closer one to the no-brainer. You got to go through the bottoming tail bar. It's got to go through the 20. It's got a ton of support down here. And it's near 60.50, which has some larger open interest. So you got a lot of lines of defense down there. So the downside, put spread. And if it dips a little bit, maybe you get a little better, give or take. Anyway, you know, it's high, I think unlikely it's going down there today. And that's all the credit spread is, right? Figure your levels and then figure time to expiration and get your opinion. All yours, Dan.
Hmm. Mhm. Yeah, end of the week, also end of the month for option expiration. See if we can find some zero DTEs today, like always. Mm. But Greg, yeah, the Dow 30. I mean, everything's green except that UNH. And I personally don't like the weighting system of this based on the Dow is based on price, not market cap. So this is a $500 stock. Well, was yesterday, and so that's dragging the Dow down, and the government's going after them for fraudulent billing practices. Again, I'm assuming that's because of Trump. So we can look at the cousins, Charlie, India, bearish gap but no pattern. CVS, it's a Climo, that'd be a call spread. And Humana 258, and nothing. Rolls are on YouTube, a resident buy setup, man. IMVT, well, in this case, a sell setup, sure. Yeah, it's a quality downtrend. That's a sell setup at the 20 resistance, sure. Looks great. Rainy, yeah, buy setup after breakout. Well, it says therapeutics, so be careful. Sounds like a bio, but it looks good. Unfee, buy setup. Yeah, y'all are doing good. Now, that was the biggest move other than this one here. But yeah, looks good. Came out of a base. So all of those are good. Tim, Citra, Energy. Um, I ideally would like one more inside bar or put spread, but that's worth watching. You got to buy setup on the weekly. Five and bullish gap. Come on, internet. Yeah, Don, I don't know. Shoot, my internet. Damn it. Um, Don, I don't know if you know this, but Trump told the U.S. to lose, because he felt bad for ruffling the feathers, of taking you all over. Yeah, that's a bullish gap without a doubt, but it's big. So I don't know what to do with it except watch it on a pullback. You got bullish weekly, monthly. So yeah, it's a very bullish gap. Problem is how to get on board. Uh, let's go up to earnings here. I deleted a bunch of them already. So if you have more, tell me that I don't cover. CELH. Come on, internet today. Uh, wow, look at that volume the last 2 days. That is a professional igniting gap. Wasn't a downtrend. Gapping up here. Look at this monthly. That looks like a multi-month bottom. So let's watch that on a pullback. It's excessive for me right now. XYZ, this is block getting whacked gap here, but that's an igniting gap. So I don't like those at all. What's his cousin? PayPal? Doing nothing. Dropbox, up and down. 29 and change. Bearish gap. I got enough to watch. VC 3140. Bullish gap, but I don't like the void unless you can do a put spread. LYV, bullish gap and a bullish uptrend, but need a pullback. FND 104, bullish gap, top of the range, but because of the depth into resistance, ideally you'll get a controlled pullback. Maybe just eyeballing here, stays above 99. This minor support here. There's 5M, Akamai. Nasty gap. This could be one that I call excessive gap, but maybe if it bounces, we can do a 1 DTE here. Let me put that in a window. I'm sorry, 0 DTE, put spread 30-minute high. EBH capping down a little bit. I set an alarm at 1070, bottoming pattern. Golf Hotel. That's a bullish breakout. That's worth watching. Echo Delta, gap breakout. That's nice. There's another good one. That we just put it in a 5-minute window and watch it. Whether it's 5, 10, 15, 30-minute high, I don't know. So that's great for directional and a put spread. So that's a tier 1. That looks great. Because it's just gapping. It's not gapping up to 102. It's gapping to the top of the range, well, a little higher. It's perfect. Perfect gap. If it holds. So you all on YouTube who don't stay in our green room, you miss out on so many amazing trades. And watching us in real time, hit the button on them. No 165, no pattern. Call spread actually. Ring, downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly. That looks like it's having trouble fundamentally. LNT opening flat, but let me set an alarm at 6185. Because that's a nice continuation pattern. Qs and spiders getting tired a little bit here. Free market, IWM is on a roll. Tear, whatever you want to call it. AMN, that's a bullish gap. Nice end of day base on the 15. That's a walk on a pullback. EXPI, same. Although the gap's too big, it's got another 200 here. If it were gapping to 12, then I would say, yeah, let's look for a controlled pullback, and then target would be 13, but yeah. Guava is getting whacked. So this is another one. Nasty excessive gap like Akamai. Let's see what it does, and maybe 0 DTE here. OLED gapping up. That's a nice gap from a bottoming pattern. So there's actually some interesting gaps here today. This isn't a downtrend, it's a bottoming pattern. But it's gapping here. If it can hold the gains and take out a 30-minute high, then maybe directional, but put spread also. 142 bearish gap, but I don't like that pattern at all. I see gap's too big, but bullish. Vicer gap breakout, put that on the list. FNF, gap breakout. There's more interesting gaps here today than I imagined. Ryan, if it gaps to 70, I can't tell. Then 30-minute high, target 73. Mealy, I think Sam still puts on this thing. And wow, Sam, nice. You can let that expire at full profit. Pod shows it down. So that would be a call spread, bearish gap. Gillespie, no prints. It's sloppy. Fix 418, bullish gap. Buy on a pullback. I have that in the middle chart here, 5-minute chart, looks great. That'd be a fantastic 0 DTE or Resi, I said, is a pattern that you could trade up or down. I don't see any gaps. So I got no bias right now. SVV, it's gapping down. Call spread idea. IRTC, another gapper, buy on a pullback. No, we're going to be doing bar by bar. No, Sam, not happy hour bar by bar. Bar by bar candlestick analysis next Wednesday. What's jumping out at me is this gap reversal, closing breakout. So that is a beautiful continuation pattern right there. That is a nice gap. I would love it better if it were gapping to 115 instead of 120. But that's a beautiful igniting gap from a base. I mean, there's a lot of good gaps here today. All right, EVH alarm, little bottoming pattern. I'm surely not doing anything in 5 minutes, but just adding it to my list. Jack is, it's nasty gap. I don't have a bias right now. TTD alarm, still going lower. I posted this as a put spread Climo, but you know what? That's not a potent close. I'm going to cancel this. That's not that. It's not ready with confidence. It's still not making the turn. It will, I promise you, give us a turn one of these days. But it looks like it's not today. Yeah, pins we talked about yesterday looks good. For me, it's up a lot in the day base. For me, I put in market falling. I prefer 30-minute high. I don't like the entry right now. VIPs. VIPs, big old nasty mess, no interest. You're gone. Only a couple more here. Now that was a potential breakout, getting whacked. That's extended now. TDS, that's worth watching. Atmu, nothing. ABR. That's the one I bought calls on. Remember? As an earnings trade. Let me see where it's at. ABR. Now I'm gonna get some vol crush, and it's not a big gap. And so I'm actually, break even here. Let me check. Yeah, the puts are ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is just put an offer out and see if I can get filled. Low offer. I got the $14 calls for next week. All right, so it's a big old sloppy bottoming pattern, but bullish weekly, monthly. Show, nothing. OIS, nothing. All right. Other watch list items, XLRE. We did a half lot yesterday. Sierra Bravo, bottom. Oh man, I was bidding for this pre-market. Let's see if I got filled. This is one of these little cheapo wide ring. I did not get filled. I was bidding 381 right there. And I thought I got filled on the bottom of that bar. I did not, but that looks great. So I'm going to cancel my order now because I don't want it immediately if it does that. Quantum, I put an order pre-market 8580. This is as Alex, what type of triangle is this? Ascending, right? You learned that from Debbie. Look at this trend line going up, horizontal resistance, ascending trend line. Trend. All right, Mighty Mo triggered. I gave that as long calls. 54.42. All right, here, UNH bottom right. Wow, there's buyers there. This could be a 0DT year. Aggressive, it's only 935, but let me check the put bar. 435 for today. There are no 435s. 430s are 50 naked. I'm not doing that. All right, November India alarm. We're just in trail mode here. This was an early alarm. So I'll reset it. And 39, 58. All right, I either got filled on quantum or my ABR calls. Let me see which it is. I got filled on selling my ABR calls at a small profit. Ah, nice pop. Look, so I made a small profit in that little pop right there. I'm out of ABR. LNT alarm. I said bullish consolidation. This could be a 15, 30-minute high. With the market falling, I'm more cautious. So I like 30-minute high idea better. Let's put that in the bottom right. Lent, let me check puts also. I would love today the 61s. There are no 61s. 6250 is all they have, which is retarded. And they're spready, so nothing to do there.
And it looks like they did a reverse split on your favorite instrument to trade.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, man.
Michael Jackson, $25. Are you sure it didn't grow because of improved fundamentals?
They injected it with some steroids.
Fix. Look at that beautiful bullish gap. This is a beautiful put spread if there's any premium.
CRSR. It's a go. Bid for it, maybe. But
CRSR. But wait, back to fix. I must, yeah, we saw that on MT Live. I must be looking at old data. Yeah, I am, because the 340s were 90 cents. How can you be showing yesterday's old data 8 minutes into the market open?
Either your internet's delayed or your trade station is.
No. Incorrect answer. It's
Oh,
the effing market maker not opening his quotes for
oh,
business
options. I got
is the answer. I was going to hit these 340s for today, and now they dropped to zero. All right, I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush for bullish trades here with all the horsemen. IWM gave it all up. Uh, Quantum, maybe I don't want. No, not quantum. What was it? Um, this one, quantum. Um, you know what? I'm gonna pull my order. I was bidding spot 80, did not get filled yet, so it's gonna cancel it. Um, just let things simmer down now. All right, let me look at these earnings that I typed out. Akamai disaster. This BNL from yesterday. Remember the bearish gap that bullies I bought myself on the 15-minute breakout I told you all? Pins. Look at LNT bottom right. He's not waiting. He's not waiting for my 30-minute. Well, no, that's not true. He might be. So let me put that in the window. All right, Jack. Sam, do you know Jack? Does Jack play on the Canadian soccer team? Tesla, yeah. Excel setup under yesterday. Yeah, yeah, bearish 15. Yeah, let me check 0 DTE. Yeah, all the fangs are whipping around like crazy men or women. Don't get all weird on me. All right, the 362.50s would be ideal. 35 cents is all. All right, EVH. I'll set a new alarm, 1074. IRTC. That's the igniting gap. It's too unstable to enter a long, but let me check put spread under the base. 0 DTE spreads are ludicrous. 10 cents by 310. iRhythm Technologies, idiot. Resi, that's getting killed. That's one. Remember? Do you remember what I said you all on this? I said it's a pattern you could trade up or down, but I wasn't watching it. Can't watch everything. That's ugly. You're done. No interest. FNF. Igniting gap, I said. That's a gap and go. That's a regional. What are regional banks doing? Absolutely nothing. So that is a great example of relative strength to the sector today. FNF. VIC. Actually, that's kind of a pseudo 1, 2, 3 short for next week. This was a gap and go, but I wouldn't have bought it. I don't like gap and goes. Well, very rarely. OLED bottoming pattern. I said put spread. Let me check the premium on this. We do the 145s for next week. And there's no weeklies. 145s for today are 35 by 70 if you're so inclined. And the bet you'd be making is it's going to hold the gap. That's not so bad. But it's 35 by 70. A glob getting killed. AMN. That was another bottoming pattern I said. But to run too much. So I'm sure there's going to be zero premium. 25s for today, 0 by 5 cents. So I got nothing there. The LNT we got in the bottom right. Ed. Oh, I forgot about Ed, darn it. I said this was my favorite one. Should have done 5-minute high. $95s for next week. No weeklies on Consolidated Edison. Ridiculous. That's 70 by 95 if you went naked. A nice pattern if you close it like this. Shoot, Ed. Darn it, I should have put him here. Well, actually, it's at 5-minute high right now. Yeah, I want to pull back. I'm not chasing. That's a big move in 5 minutes. Charlie Bravo. We stopped out yesterday. That stupid thing. LEU, we're still watching for a turn. Rock. You can do the other half over the high, 304.05 for Rock.
Transports are getting slammed.
Who?
Transport. IYT.
Yeah. No, I didn't hear what you said. Do you see any trades somewhere?
Didn't look through them.
Okay. So that's still a good entry over 86.26. I remember I was bidding spot 80. That fill would have been a 2 cents off the low had I gotten filled before I canceled it. It's not a lot of money, but if you don't mind tying up capital, the
FedEx.
75 puts for March are 40 cents. Yeah, that's nasty bar. you know,
Next week, credit spread.
I'm looking right now. And for a directional, it's fallen too much for me. But those are power bars suggesting it ain't gonna bounce much today.
Hmm.
But I am looking 270s next week. 28 cents by 162. What a jackass. I mean that's telling me that yeah, they got their orders. I mean they got their machines and they see like an acceleration of price and they just do this to their orders because I know something's up.
The gamma spikes, Dan.
Exactly. No, you say it as a joke, but that's 100% yes.
Well,
Uh,
that's when you think about, I've had this, me and my pet peeves is with these names and stuff.
yeah,
That's when there truly is, the idea of gamma and measuring that against some other Greek, when they start talking about it and nothing's moving, it seems like a lot of jawboning.
set an alarm at 10 spot 90 EVH bottoming pattern could be a 30-minute high. EVH.
This ACHC, I don't know. I think you mentioned it, Alex. Anyway, it's been pretty whippy, but they keep selling it on rallies. See the topping tails?
Yeah, definitely. Make it short to low. Sure. Sure.
And you could do it under the low. I mean,
Stop.
it opens the spread sometimes.
Yeah, stop
You can
yesterday.
just offer it,
Sure.
with a stop above yesterday's high.
Absolutely.
I remember some of the things that you throw out there, Alex.
Yeah, looks good. Yeah, shoot. Now we're because the monthly cycle. So many of these don't have weeklies. But yeah, you do exactly what Greg just said. Yep. All right, those are all alarms so far. Golf Hotel, nothing. Akamai is in severe pain. That looks like daily, weekly, monthly. I don't think that thing's going over yesterday's high for a long time. Laser here. I'm gonna set an alarm 721. Another bottoming pattern. It'd be better for Monday over the week's high. I had the Zim on my list from yesterday. That moved up. Looks good. All right, let me go through opens now.
Not ready yet, but CHRW, bear flag with a bearish 180 in development.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of words. That could, yeah, I'll open the charts. So FFT, my observation of this gamma stuff is to connect the idea with large strikes of open interest, because what that's what ignites it. So the gamma itself, that word, it's meaningless. It's like saying, hey, do you understand the idea of a bottoming tail bar? Well, without knowing the trend, support, and resistance, it's what's the point of knowing what a bottoming tail bar is? The same thing with gamma. But if you look at where the large open interest is, and you know that market makers are hedged, and what's happening, there's been a lot of activity there. And then if you can look at the chart and understand the idea of a price void and such, that's where you're hitting on all cylinders, because now the idea of gamma is understandable, that this is why, like someone could say that is a gamma wall. I mean, they use these kind of things that sound like, oh, that sounds interesting, you know? And it's like, if you put those pieces together, it's so much more, you know, information that, you know, to understand why prices are going to move at that level. And then if you understand the void and the open interest, it got room to run. Yeah, now you're getting somewhere.
HCC doing well. What? We have 2/3 left. Hun. All right, this is a typo. What the heck is Hun? Dude, does any does anybody know what this is? Oh, there it is. What I thought the chart didn't show up. Never mind. All right, let's move stuff here. 1734. Mountain, we're still in trail mode. Our stop right now is 161.32. Let's move it to 160.72. Mighty Mo at the high.
That means they're still holding up. Yeah.
Pins pulling in with the market. That's why I wanted a 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, I wanted 30-minute high or 1, 2, 3. Our middle core long doing fine. November India. Let's move stop. 31.68. India. Yep, 10 a.m. number. Got a whip down and bottoming tails on the 5:15. I'm sorry, on the 5-minute Q's spiders. Nice bottoming tail whip down.
Here's one to throw in a thumbnail. See if it gives an entry point at some point. INOD.
Wow.
No data.
Barracks. Ben. Vilto. We're short with break even stop, and Mo is the only thing I gave today. That's it. It's been a chill week.
Here's another watcher, Dan, in your list. AAOI. Bottoming out, pulling back, bullish weekly uptrend.
And monthly too, don't forget.
Little sideways action in this area next week, and it could be off to the races.
Yeah, and I'm checking puts too, and there's no weeklies. So annoying. Wow, there must be earnings because the
Oh,
Lenny.
yes, the 26th.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you want to do an earnings, the March, 28 days away.
I
This,
don't have the stomach for those things.
well, 17.5s are 80. That's massive. And it only has a 230 expected move, and we can do 17 and a halves. That's insanely high.
Mhm.
So
Look at the statistics.
let's give Greg a quiz. It has a delta of 8,
Of what?
808.
Hmm.
So my question to you is, what is the probability of it expiring worthless?
I think that delta means it doesn't suggest it's not going to move. I don't know. 0.8. I mean, that's usually you say you're looking for something with a delta of about 80, right?
No, you're mixing concepts. Remember, we talked about the three different things that delta represents. So a delta of 8 means it has an 8% probability of expiring in the money or 92% out of the money. So hey, Azric, change your drop down, please. So I'm trying to sell some puts at 80 cents. He didn't fill me.
I don't know why this shows earnings of yesterday. Maybe TC didn't update it, but Consolidated Edison, it's a utility that's a buy. ED.
Yeah, so when I was pounding the table on this morning, it's a gapper. Yeah, earnings for this morning. Yeah, it's on my gap list. My tier one gap list. Yep. Oh, I got filled on the 80 cents now. All right. I'm on AAOI 17 and a half puts. So, the 15-minute charts of the four horsemen show totally different pictures. Well, here, let's talk about them. So Qs are the strongest. Why? Well, because it went up, but it's coming right back to this base of support. What about spiders? Yeah, it came down to base of support, but the day's low. Whereas the Qs were up here in the beef of it. Diamonds, solid, nasty downtrend under yesterday's low with a price void. Um, an Ed question for Sam. I like the way you think, but I can't think of one. What do you think I was thinking? I can't think of it. But diamonds, that's a nasty top. We should have been thinking zero DTE or even 7-day DTE. Yeah, that one. You two are. I can't think of it. What you're wanting me to say. All right, the 446s for next week. 31 cents naked is all. We should have, Greg, bought a put 15-minute low. I think this thing's coming. This is a gap fill. Another $5 lower myself.
Only gonna go lower. Pick your point. Do half now. Do half if it retraces.
Well, the problem is we can't do half with our spreadsheet the way it is, because then it'd be more than $300 cost basis, max loss. I mean, $437 is 438. Uh, I mean, 438 is 40 cents in the money and we're paying $3 for it. Let me see about going out 2 weeks. The 438. Yeah, you're paying 90 cents more for another week. But that's all right. Let's yeah, see if we can do this on a bounce. Here, the diamonds here, so I can babysit it. And then IWM, took out the low, but still. So do y'all see how they're totally different pictures and all this? Cleaning out some things on the other computer. This OLED bottoming pattern ripping. Look at that. Man, that's a bottoming pattern, all right. The Sierra Bravo bottoming pattern. Told you I was bidding for it, didn't get filled. Bilco, yesterday's high, 97, 93. Well, they would break even, so only a nickel higher. All right, so now we step back and watch how far we bounce.